All right, Garrett.
Yeah.
This is sort of an odd conversation, giving our listeners a window into the behind the scenes of God Inc.
Yeah, this is kind of just a little bit of a freestyle. We're not really covering any scripture. It's kind of more of updates, learning experience, kind of a little bit of a town hall with you.
Yes. So maybe the first thing we could talk about is what are some lessons you think we learned along the way?
If we're talking biblically, so much. I don't think I have ever known Exodus like I do now.
Yep.
The amount of times that we've covered Exodus, I mean, the seminar at GYC, 21 episodes on the life of Moses we've had,
Yep.
including the addendum, and then, you preaching for GYC
Yep.
on the life of Moses.
30 more messages.
And then we did a week of prayer at GLA on the life of Moses.
So what's interesting about that is I actually struggled putting those sermons together for GYC because I did not want to repeat anything we talked about.
And we talked about an awful lot.
Talked about so much.
I mean, 11 hours,
and
21 hours of content.
Yeah, bro. It sounds weird, right? Because I don't think you can ever say you're tired of the Bible. But it's like, I think we got to the point where it's like, I just don't want to talk about Moses anymore.
Yeah, something beyond that. And it's funny because when I look at other places in my Bible, like what was I looking at the other day? Oh, it was the prodigal son, and the father says, put shoes on the feet. I was like, oh yeah, Moses was taking his feet off. Moses was. I'm like, no. I'm off of the Moses thing.
You're going back to Moses.
Yeah.
I think for me, there's a lot of things that I learned, right? Including the biblical study, the knowledge. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think I've studied Exodus this much prior to this point.
Right.
I think I know Exodus so much that, and people may not realize this, but GYC we had zero notes.
At the seminar
we just had
itself.
titles.
Yeah, we did.
Because
we had a few quotes. That was it.
Yeah, we studied it so much, like I said, it was easy to kind of go off each other into conversation. The other thing that I figure that would be a lesson is how we've improved along the way.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? We learned a lot of technological things.
And our listeners will recognize the improvement in the technology.
Yeah. The first season was a bit scratchy. The audio wasn't perfect.
We apologize for
we had
that.
like a very small Zoom.
It's what we had.
Microphone that we invested from our own budget.
It's what we had.
And then along the way, we made some improvements, and now our mics are better. Our mixer is better.
Yeah.
By the time we hit season 2, we had a good setup and
Music's better,
yeah,
online presence, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. That those things have definitely improved. I think the addition of guests was really nice.
Oh yeah, that was
It brings those different voices to the table, which is something we'll continue to do in season 3, right? But it's been nice to be able to incorporate different perspectives and different backgrounds. I think that has really improved just the I hesitate to say entertainment value, but the listenability,
maybe aesthetics.
yeah,
you know,
of it, yeah.
and the depth.
The
right?
depth,
because
sure.
we've talked about many of these things before.
Yep.
But there are a lot of things that I learned with our guests here that we didn't even. I mean, I see your face light up behind the microphone,
Right.
when there are certain things that are shared. So I think we learn as well. And on the subject of learning, we've also learned from our listeners.
Totally.
Their feedback has been, your feedback, I should say, has been super encouraging. But not just that, it has provided some guidance for us in terms of how to do things better. I know one listener mentioned, man, it was like season 1 was pretty rough because the audio wasn't perfect.
Yep.
And like, okay, all right, let's try to see how we can improve that so that way we make it better.
Mm-hmm.
And the question was, did we change the audio? The answer is yes, we did change the audio, and it significantly improved by the time we hit season 2.
Yep. So we definitely learned from that. We've learned a lot of like just online presence updates as well, like certain platforms and different softwares to use and all of that good stuff. So that's been helpful, and getting us on certain social media sites. We listen to the young people to do that. So we worked on that too. And
yeah. Question, how much of God Inc. do we outsource?
I'm thinking hard about this because I'm trying to figure out if we've ever outsourced anything.
I don't think we've ever outsourced anything.
We've had one image created by somebody that wasn't us.
Oh, our merch. I think our merch we outsourced.
We outsourced the design of merch.
The design of merch for GYC.
And we outsourced the image for season 3.
So we built the website. So there's a learning curve there.
Edit, social presence, communication. yeah, it's work,
Yeah.
but it's a blast.
Yeah, how do we manage? Maybe our listeners are probably wondering because we are pastors full time.
Yeah,
We are studying for our masters at the same time as well.
husbands. I'm a dad.
Yeah, you're a dad. Yeah, husband for me as well. Working on a house.
Yep.
What do you think makes this work? Like, how are we able to manage the schedule and still be balanced?
Yeah, that's good, and I hope our boss is listening to this. No, Michigan Conference has been nothing but supportive of us in this endeavor. So very thankful for that. I think there's a lot to be said about being efficient, right? So whether it's in your job, we're efficient with our day job. I think when you and I are together, I mean, we're recording this at Andrews right now.
Yeah, after class.
After class.
So we had a full 8-hour day of class, and then we just step in here. We're like, let's
exactly.
record. Yeah.
Ministerial meetings when we're together, we will go away on our free times and we'll record then. I mean, I've made trips to you. You've made trips to me, right? Yeah. We dedicate a few hours.
And that's usually when our schedules are open because we give our church priority.
Exactly. Really, and I'm not trying to like toot horns or anything here, but it's sacrifice, right? Like right now, I'd rather be at the gym, and I'm hopefully going to get to go later, right? But that's where I'd rather be. You'd probably rather be somewhere else too, doing something.
Yeah, I think after this, I'm going to catch up with my wife and maybe make
exactly.
Yeah.
But it's longer hours. It's late nights. It's when you're tired, putting in a little bit more.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right on that. Next question. Oh, well, I've been asking
you answer
questions,
too.
So
let me ask you what. So episodes we've had. Let's start here. We've had 10 episodes this season, so we're not going to talk about season 1. What was your favorite episode in season 2?
Man, it's hard to choose because when you ask me that question, I think of 4. But let me see if I
got to give me one or top 3.
Top 3.
Give me top 3.
Strange Fire with
Conway.
Pastor Stephen Conway.
That Brother's Deep.
Yeah, no, that was great. Constant Conflict. Maybe that's just experiential and working with Israel. That was really good too.
That was great.
Holy Cow.
I'll let you slide on that one. That was 2 parts. But yeah, those were good episodes.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to choose. But if I were to go in that order, it would be the same order.
Yeah, sure.
Holy Cow will probably be number 3.
Yeah, my favorite was with Amy, God's Mount Rushmore. With Amy, Ratsara Esquire.
Yeah, you talk history and law.
No, that was so good to hear from Sinai, from a lawyer.
That was a solid episode too.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about production with so we did narratives at the beginning. That was kind of your baby, the narrative section. And we wrote the script for all of those. You and I both did that. But the editing and adding in songs and stuff, that was you.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the inspiration for that.
Well, I am a storyteller, and I'm often engaged by stories. And so, especially when it comes to the Bible, sometimes we make it so sanitary.
Yeah, cut and dry, black and white.
Cut and dry, black and white, that it's kind of hard to listen. And I know not everybody is a storyteller, right, in that sense, but I'm also an artist. And so I like painting pictures, whether it be physically a painting or imaginative, imagining a story. If you've ever listened to how I preach, I'm not saying you, but our listeners, you can tell that I kind of use the imagination a lot.
Yeah, you're a narrative speaker.
I'm a narrative speaker. And so I wanted to make sure that when we piece the podcast together, as much as I enjoy the discussions, I wanted to raise the questions in a way that is unexpected, and that being a narrative.
Yeah, that makes sense. And season 3, we're pulling away from the narrative.
We're going straight to the discussion.
We're going straight to the discussion. Let us know what you think of that. Do you maybe once we have a season out that doesn't have the narrative, be interested to see how many people miss it or how many people are like, yeah, we're good with just having the discussion.
Yeah, and just for an explanation on season 3, part of what made season 3 difficult is there is not a lot of information on a lot of the disciples, and we like being consistent.
Yep.
And so because we couldn't consistently create a narrative,
right,
we didn't want to try to do that and make stuff up, right? We
could have done that with Peter and John.
Yes, but probably, not Matthias.
Not Bartholomew.
Thomas may be a little bit more difficult as well.
Yeah.
So for us, we just did not want to tell a story that we did not have biblical text to support.
Do you see God Inc. ever collaborating with anyone else in the future?
You know what's funny? I think you and I share this same thing. We love seeing the success of other ministries, and we've had these conversations before, saying, if someone needs some assistance, if someone wants to come on our platform and allow us to talk about their thing that they're doing
And spin off.
of us, we would be more than happy to do that, because especially young people, this is our target audience. So if you want to start something, man, come get in touch with us, talk with us. I know we talked to a student at Andrews University today who's been asking some questions about, getting started with something. And we are more than happy to step out of the limelight and say, give you a space to create something and add to the conversation.
Yeah. So consistency, I think, is important for us. And we try to be consistent with release dates and the narrative being biblical. We try talking about real world issues, but stay away from politics, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's something we'll definitely see in season 3. I'm really excited for season 3, if you can't tell.
Me too. Now, one thing I have to ask you about is timing. Some of our listeners get frustrated because we don't release on a weekly basis. And sometimes there's like a long pause between seasons.
There is.
Why is that?
Yeah, the reason for that, well, and we're trying to make it to where you guys don't have a lot of that this time. Our next episode is the end of May. I think it's May 25th. And we have a couple, like an addendum or something like that in between. But yeah, there's a couple months between seasons. And the reason for that, and again, it's intentional, it gives us a opportunity to study, to be able to put things together as far as titles and order and just the
content,
the meta narrative of what we're going to go through. And then because we're pastors and because we're busy, we don't get together every other week to record a podcast and edit it, schedule it, and get it out, right? So what we like to do is we like to have the majority, we love it all, but that doesn't always get to happen. The majority of that pre-done and recorded and ready and scheduled out, so that when it does come time for the first episode to come out, that there is no delay in the consistency of every other Monday having an episode out. So those few months in between seasons just give us time to put out content and schedule them out so that you guys aren't frustrated with inconsistency.
Yeah, and I think the other piece too is we do enjoy having the podcast, because it does provide an avenue for us to, an avenue in terms of an outlet.
It's a creative outlet.
It's a creative outlet. We have fun when we do it.
We do.
But at the same time, we want to be responsible pastors.
Yeah.
We don't want to make this something that stands in the way of the work that we need to do, that we're expected to do in our local church. And so that local church context is always our priority.
It is.
And at the beginning, we decided, we're not going to let the podcast rob us of doing the work we need to do. So we decided in that moment, initially, before we even started, we said, we're going to give ourselves a long break in between seasons so that we can focus and have solid content to provide for our listeners rather than just spitballing.
And as it turns out, having a podcast gives our local church a tool as far as credibility in the field, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, your pastor having a podcast that's consistent and that's coming out and talking about real life issues that isn't a sermon, right? That's actually really affected in a positive way the ministries that we do have in our local church. So that is really cool. But again, like you said, this isn't our top priority. It's a hobby of sorts, but it's also ministry.
Yeah. Well, Pastor Garrett, it's a blessing working with you.
Always, man.
In real life, we are best friends, and I'm very grateful for what
hotel
God is
rooms
doing.
together, all that stuff, man. It's
we've grown along the way.
Yeah,
and we're very grateful for our listeners. Hey, everyone who's listening, we would love to hear from you. There's something new that we want to do when we get to season 3. We would love to get your voice. We want to include you in that season. So we're going to be adding a number at some point for you to call. All we want you to do is to call us and leave us a voicemail.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And just let us know how the podcast is blessing you. And we would love to have your voice included in the episodes so that people can know what a blessing, or if it is even a blessing to our listeners as we go into season 3.
And let us know like where you're from and that kind of a thing. Hey, I'm so-and-so. I'm listening from this area, and just share just a brief, this is what this meant to me. That would be great.
Hey, thank you for listening.
Yep. And so like, as always, I'm Pastor Garrett.
And I'm Jermaine.
Thanks for listening, guys.
All right, bye.